Hello, hi my creators. Welcome to episode 2 of Tailored and Sewn. I am super excited for this episode because I am taking a major risk. I'm dealing with things that I've not dealt with before. For instance, a zip. I know it sounds very, oh, it's just a zip, but for some reason attaching a zip to a garment seems like it's complicated for me, especially having to do it on the right side and make sure it's close enough and the gaps and etc, etc. However, thank you guys for the love that you've shown on the previous video. I really appreciate it. So I have got this white dress and I bought it probably over a year ago, and I was really excited to wear it, but then when I got it, one, it was short because I thought it was maxi but it was actually midi, and also trying to find a long sleeve top to kind of, because obviously it's sleeveless. I don't think I was thinking at the time, but to find a long sleeve to kind of like match the white or make sure it's close enough just was not happening. I believe last summer there was a trend of bubble skirts or balloon skirts. I can't remember the exact name, but I think it's like bubble skirts, but I wanted to make a maxi version, so I thought let me take the risk. So we are gonna get cutting, we are gonna get styling, but what I want to do is make it a high-waisted type of skirt and try and make sure it kind of like hits the ankle or even lower if I can, but I'm going to try and use as much fabric from the dress as I possibly can. So if you're interested in how I turn this dress into a skirt, stay tuned. The first thing you want to do is turn the fabric inside out and lay it on the table, and then you're going to get a seam ripper and just start going through the fabric to get the zip off. Ignore my awkward hand position. I don't know why it's like that, but I think it's because I was recording and trying to do it at the same time. I was just trying to get a good angle. So you also want to make sure you remove any frills and frafts, so remove all the loose thread that came off from the zip and also the fabric. So the next thing we're going to do is lay the fabric back out onto the table, and I'm just putting some clips in different areas just to stabilize it, so when I do cut it's going to be quite even and seamless. There is an extra bit of fabric that was under the arm, so just go back to your seam ripper and remove that, and then I believe because it was folded you're just going to cut the extra bit off. Of course your dress might be different, so you might not run into this type of situation. I am now marking off with some chalk so that the waist will be to my measurement, and this is where I'm going to cut and stitch. Moving along to the waist, we're going to double fold. As you guys know, I like to fold and iron, and then I'm going to be putting in some clips so that it stays in place, so that when I'm ready to stitch, it'll be seamless. We are going to be recycling the same zip that we had, but we'll have to cut it so that it's shorter. So I'm measuring it out from the waist to where the seam ends, as you can see there, and then I'm going to cut it just a bit below. Now this is where it gets complicated. So from the excess fabric I'm cutting off a rectangular piece, and then I'm going to stitch down both sides and then fold it. So I'm going to fold end to end and then fold it again. This is going to create a stopper for the zip, and I'm also going to take the zip and stitch across it. Make sure you do a back stitch as well, and that will also help to stop the zip from sliding down. As you can see, the zip is not going anywhere. It is very much secured, but for extra security, we're going to take the fabric that we folded and stitched earlier and then cover it over the edge of the zip and then stitch that down. Now we're going to attach the zip to the skirt, and starting from the top of the waist, we're going to roll some of that fabric out and make sure the seam, make sure the end of the zip is right to the top, so that when it's time to stitch the skirt, we will fold it in and hide that end. Now that our zip is attached, we're going to refold the top and stitch that down, and this will create our waist hem. Now we're going to stitch the sides from where we took off a bit of excess to allow the skirt to fit my measurements. Finally, I did a zigzag stitch that will stop any unraveling. That is the end of the video, and I am so happy with how this turned out. It fits so well. I still have to go in and take in a bit more on the sides, if you can see. So I had to take in a bit more. I probably could take in a bit more. Your girl did not realize that her waist was getting small. I used to be a 25, 26, but we are grateful for where we are. So I took a bit more on the side so that it can fit, and it just fits so beautiful. It looks exactly how I want it, because I really wanted that high-waisted drop waist type of look, if that makes sense. But guys, this is a perfect example of, you know, get creative, take risk, and just utilize what you have. So now I've got a gorgeous skirt that I can't wait to style. So if you enjoyed the video, definitely leave your comments and your likes, share, and I will see you guys in a new episode. Bye.